Indiana Jones. It's a podcast about Indiana Jones. Every movie, 1 minute at a time. Indiana Jones Minute.
Welcome back to the Indiana Jones Minute, the podcast in which we celebrate and discuss the film Raiders of the Lost Ark 1 minute at a time. I'm Tom Taylor.
I'm Pete Mummert.
And I'm Jerry Porter.
And we are honored to be joined again this week by Jerry's sister, Professor Christie Porter. Welcome back, Christie.
Hi, guys. Glad to be here.
We're very glad to have you back. This is unprecedented in the annals of the Indiana Jones Minute to have the same guest in back-to-back weeks. This is fantastic.
Pretty cool.
All right. So we're here to discuss minute 26. And 26 begins with Marion kicking everybody out of her bar, and it ends with her socking Indiana Jones in the jaw.
One of the things I noticed here, again, and I brought this up before, but it's just a carnival of hats.
There's that one guy.
Yeah.
That one I know which hat you're talking about when you say hats.
The red one?
Yeah. That little guy. He's like, oh, I get to be in a movie. Mr. Spielberg tells me to go over here with my hat.
But check this out. I was
Don't
looking
look at the
there's a
camera.
guy, now, he's got that famous, and it's red, and you're like, hats these days are all machine made and whatever. You're like, that is a handmade hat.
Yeah.
That is a completely handmade hat.
They can't build a machine that would make that hat. It's impossible.
Right. But there's a guy behind him who's wearing, and it's one of the only double up hats I've seen in this entire bar sequence here. There's a guy behind him who is also kind of, sporting a white version of that hat.
Yeah.
Oh.
Did you see that, Pete?
Yeah.
So those hats are like brothers then. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, exactly. Or at least there's, somebody's biting off someone's style in the little town.
And the white one's kind of quilted. It's a nice looking hat.
Well, the red one's kind of quilted. So
Yeah,
they're like
okay,
the
yeah.
quilted
Yeah.
hat brothers. Yeah.
But every single person, like every head in the whole scene, there's like, that's a great hat. You're like, look at that hat. It's just one after another.
So my question for you then is whether the hats are functional because they fold down, which doesn't look very comfortable because it would probably rub up against your shoulders, or merely fashionable.
I was going to say they look really warm, but the way they're wearing them up like that, it looks like there's zero, like it's just covering the top of your head, and that wouldn't be as warm. But you think do they fold down? Do we see one that's folded down?
Well, not that I know of, not in that particular scene, because it would be pretty warm in the bar.
Sure.
And I'm just a little puzzled because if you wanted to keep your head warm, you'd have one of those Mohan hats that has the ear flaps, right? But he wears that in the bar.
Yeah.
So I can't necessarily put this together.
If you
But Jerry, you were the one
down.
interested in the hat, so maybe you have an idea.
It's straight up fashion. I think that's fashion. Yeah, because the one's got the split horns coming. It's like two horns going straight forward. And
if you folded the flaps down, you would look a lot like a tauntaun. So maybe that's intentional.
Oh, weird.
Wow. See, I wasn't good at that spatial SAT stuff. What would this What would this look like if you folded it to the left and to the So I don't know, maybe it's just rigged upwards then.
They just look cool. They're local color.
I want one of these hats.
Well, I was thinking of all that, throughout the entire Indiana Jones series, everybody's like, oh, and his famous hat, Indy's hat, his hat is famous. And you're like, no, this is actually the famous hat.
I think you're right.
The red one, you're like, no, that hat's actually that's the standout hat.
It's easier to draw, too.
Yes.
Than that fedora.
Clearly.
I love when Mohan is leading the last guy out, that double smack that he gives the guy on the back is awesome. I've always loved that.
It's incredible. I noticed that too, and I'm like, oh, Mohan's a good guy.
Oh, we love him.
Oh, well, he's a little brusque in the, he's telling a bada bada. And I tried to look that up, and I can't ever really find the appropriate way to, he's like, is he saying, get out, get out, get out, get
Come
out.
on, get the lead out.
But the last guy, he's like, yeah, it's going to be all right, man.
You and me.
I think he's singing that song, Closing Time.
Oh, Jesus.
Everyone. Maybe not then. Okay.
You're not helping, Christy.
To be the place where you do come from, or whatever it is. Yeah. Closing time.
Maybe that's a traditional Nepalese goodbye, though, because Marion kind of gives the Wicket the Ewok lady a funny backslap.
Oh, does she?
Like she kind of taps her repeatedly, and it's either, "Oh, you're nice," or "Get out of here."
I've had enough of you people.
Well, one thing I saw the speaking of the scene where Mohan smacks the guy in the back. Well, first of all, I wondered, is that because he's totally hammered? He can't get to his car. Like,
yeah.
Like, you want me to call you a cab?
Yeah. I mean, the town's about 10 square feet. He's probably just walking him across the street to where everybody lives.
But what did that remind? That scene, looking out the bar door, that exact shot, looking out the bar door. What is that reminiscent of?
Nothing.
Pete? Maybe Hoth?
Yeah, with the icicles hanging down.
Yeah, and the kind of windy bluster noises.
Yeah, I'll buy that.
Interesting.
So why would the Raven open into the Wampa's cave? That's really your question there.
Well, dreams are kind of, make it
dear.
up as it goes along.
Yeah.
No.
He's got a guy with a hat like a tauntaun. He smells bad on the outside. It's all
it was
coming
one
together.
thing when it was just Pete, but when it's all three of you, you're just all three wrong.
All three of us. Forever and ever and ever. Okay, I have a question. This is actually my big question for this minute. And it's one of my big questions for the movie because I've never understood what I've been seeing at this moment. Everybody's out. Marion walks over to that big wall, and she's looking up at it. And is she? I don't even know how to describe it. I have to put it as a question. Is she holding two shot glasses to the sides of her head?
Yes.
Why?
Because she has to throw them.
Because she needs them in about a minute or 10 seconds when she. I mean, is that it? It looks like I can never tell if she's is she looking through them? Is she just holding them to the side of her head?
Yeah, it looks like she's doing like a little kid thing where she holds them up to her eyes. But then I thought maybe she's trying to cool off her temples because she's got a headache.
Oh, maybe. That makes more sense than anything I've been able to put together.
Because she should be hammered, right? She should have a headache because she should be hammered.
Not if she's been cheating.
I don't know. I've got evidence later on that she was not cheating, by the way. But that's
I think that's just a straight up Calgon take me away minute.
Yeah.
It's up to the temples,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. That works for me.
And then I always thought I would love to greet somebody by throwing down and smashing two shot glasses when they mention my name.
Yeah.
Well, I was thinking if what they really needed to do is smash glasses, isn't there another way that they could have achieved that particular effect without writing in the script somewhere that she puts two shot glasses on the sides of her head? That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, I mean,
it is dramatic.
She's got enough reason to hold shot glasses. I mean, she's got to clean up and stuff, which she'll do in a minute. But yeah.
I think that's totally great directing. Because it's a little bit out there. You wouldn't necessarily write that. You know what I mean? You wouldn't, at least I wouldn't think you'd be like, okay, so she holds two shot glasses up to it, and then she turns around when she hears her name called, and she recognizes the voice, and she's so incredulous, she slams them down.
Yeah. It's an awesome move.
It is an awesome move.
And then Indy has this huge smile on his face, like, yeah, it's me, Indiana. Like, he knows how they left things, and we'll get into that in a second. But is he expecting her to be happy to see him? Is he like, yeah, it's me?
Because he looks like an idiot. He's leering at her.
Yeah.
Disgusting.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a tough... I'm sorry, go ahead.
Well, I just think the way they introduce him, I think that's one of the greatest shots in cinemas. You just see his giant shadow lurking over her.
That is awesome.
And he just looks so menacing and so... But it's like so iconic. Like, you know instantly that that's Indiana Jones.
Yeah, and so did she.
Yeah.
Would you know it was Indiana Jones if he was wearing a different hat? Would you?
No.
No.
If he were wearing one of those tauntaun hats?
That's right. That's right. Now, all right, I want you to think about this. So the other thing that is going on in that particular couple of seconds when she has shot glasses to her temple and she whips around with her elbows out and she throws them down and there's a man with a hat and so forth, she stands right in front of a table. And the table is in front of stairs, and I presume she lives upstairs. I'm not really sure. It doesn't seem very safe. But on that, I'm just saying, on that table is a very curious piece of driftwood. Mm-hmm. 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 What's it doing?
Wow.
Well, is it driftwood or is it just old wood?
Well, it is Nepal, so it probably didn't drift there.
Right.
Good point. What the heck is it doing there?
And there's one on every table holding a candle. And I was wondering, is it a yak skull?
What?
Oh, weird.
Oh.
Yak skull? No.
It doesn't look like any piece of wood I've ever seen.
No, it's got legs.
Yeah, it looks almost like claws, like talons. But could that be like, do yaks have horns?
The male ones do, probably. I mean, I totally made that up, but that's usually how it works.
Well, so Pete, you're saying that there's more than one of those on the tables? It's like a centerpiece for all the tables. It's decor, is what you're saying.
Well, there's the famous, because that's not the same table that gets overturned in a minute, right? Or is it?
I
don't know.
Don't know about any tables overturned. I haven't watched that minute.
That's true.
Oh, yeah, we'll keep this in mind. I'll hold judgment.
What you're talking about.
Well, she seems to have accumulated a fair amount of, quote, junk. Possibly. Maybe that is some important artifact from some other time.
Yeah.
That maybe a loved one bequeathed to her.
She makes a reference later to Abner's bits of junk. Maybe she's using them as candle holders now.
Yeah, it's definitely a candle holder. I mean, it's pretty clear. It's a candle holder. I thought it was the only one, though. Maybe not.
It looks like driftwood, I agree, which makes it more of a curiosity because they're in the mountains.
It is a curiosity because they're in the mountains. Good.
But maybe that's what brings people in. It's like, you know what I like about Marian's? They...
She's got wood of the sea.
I gotta let my hat down. And
no, I can't actually. It won't go down.
Yeah, is that like you go into like the airport in Cleveland and there's like a Riptide surf bar?
Good reference, Pete. Good reference. Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Oh Lord.
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
The last time we saw Indy, he was wearing a suit. Why did he change into his Indiana Jones costume before he went to see Marion?
Because we wouldn't recognize his silhouette.
That's true.
If he had a suit on, we'd be like, "Oh, that's probably her accountant coming to check on how well she did."
This is a very cold climate. Is that the warmest thing he could have packed and be wearing right now? Just a leather jacket and a hat?
Well, I don't know how he even got to wherever she's living.
Yeah, where's he staying? Is he at like a local B&B?
Yeah. Did he take Uber?
He just took the Uber raft.
Yeah, he took the Uber raft. That's right.
Or maybe he's he's such a cad. He thinks, once Marion gets a load of me, I'm going to be staying upstairs.
That's what that smile says.
Because he's a little bit like that. I agree with you, Chriser. He's kind of like he comes in and he's like, "Hello, Marion."
Yeah.
And it's just kind of like, it's me, and this is what's up.
It's one click short of waggling the eyebrows, isn't it? Not
Yeah.
Not cool.
I'm glad you said eyebrow.
Well, I was thinking it kind of along the lines is what exactly, like it's a quick answer, but you're like, no, really think about it. What does Marion mean when she says, she's like, Indiana Jones, I always knew you'd come through my door, walk through, and then she says, walk through my door again. And then she says, quote, something made it inevitable.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, so why does she think that something made it inevitable?
Well, it's just a different way of saying what she just said, that she always knew he'd come back through her door.
I think there's more to it. Like, something made it inevitable. Like, she knows he's super greedy and he comes calling.
Yeah.
When he's looking for something.
No, that's a good point. Yeah.
Or
maybe
yeah,
Abner was really working with the Nazis. And...
Easy, Pete. Rubbish. Ravenwood's no nutsy.
Well,
it's just a very strong statement. That's all.
it is a strong statement.
It is.
Yeah, that jumped out at me too.
Actually, what she probably should have done is clutched her pearls and said, oh, holy moly, what are you doing here? You jackass, something like that.
Well, that's exactly what she did say with her fist.
Well, she did, but she's not there. You know what she does before she does that with her fist? She actually throws the shot glasses and then brushes her hands as if there's something on them, which there isn't, by the way.
I love that. I know exactly. And she kind of goes smack, 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 smack. It's like weird. She does it like two right. It's like right, left.
It's like she's about to beat up a kid in an alley. It's like another version of a gesture I've never understood, like punching your fist into your hand and kind of squeezing it there, like you're squeezing an orange or something. Just kind of rubbing your fist in your hand, like, oh, I'm gonna enjoy this. It's like her version of that.
Like rolling up your sleeves.
Yeah, right. She put her cap on backwards.
Wow.
She moved a toothpick to the other side of her mouth.
You guys know a lot about fighting. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
We're street toughs.
Well, let's be honest. That punch, I mean, that's the greatest old-timey noise of all.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
That's a famous sound, too. I think Ben Burt invented that sound for this movie.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah? What did he use for the sound? Do you know?
Ben Burt and I think Dennis Murin worked on this together. And they would throw a leather baseball catcher's mitt up into the air and hit it as hard as they could with a baseball bat.
Oh my gosh.
They would mix that sound with. They would also hit a leather jacket with a baseball bat. And people have tried to recreate this on the internet, and they've done that, and it gets a pretty good sound, but it still doesn't sound like that punch.
That's awesome.
And they realized that what they added in the sound of Indy's whip into the punch sound.
Oh my God.
Wow.
So if you listen very carefully, you can hear the whip as well but those punches happen all throughout the movie, and I think this is the first one.
They sound wet too. It's like they soaked everything in gin or something.
Well, and it has this inimitable low end.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's
So I'm saying you're hearing the same punch over and over again in the movie?
No, I think they did it different times, but I think it all has the whip thrown in.
That's incredible.
Those guys really had too much time on their hands. That's pretty clear.
And can I say, this is the only time I can think of where a character is turning away and then gets sucker punched, where it's not 100% telegraphed, where you're like, if you were that character, you would know you were about to get punched, and it's stupid that you turned away, and then you're surprised that you get punched. Like, he's just, I need one of the pieces your father, You can see how he doesn't see he's about to get hit.
Yeah.
Where that happens in so many other movies, and it's just too obvious the person's going to get hit.
Well, I would have thought for a person that size, she would need more wind-up, too, but she doesn't.
No, she's a spitfire.
Yeah, spunky, yeah.
She is spunky.
Well, it shows you what a cocky guy he is. He's like, there's no way I'm going to get any pushback on this one.
I was picking up where I left off.
Is this the first time we hear the whole name Indiana Jones in the movie?
I was wondering that too. Indiana Jones. I think it is. We've heard Dr. Jones. We've heard Indiana. And I think that's it.
Could be true.
Yeah, I think so.
So the line that she gives, Indiana Jones, or see you tomorrow, Indiana Jones.
Well, that's later.
No.
Yeah, it's later.
That's the next minute.
It's the next minute, at least. We know.
All right, never mind.
But she says, she's dusting her hands off. She's Indiana Jones. Always knew you'd come walking back through my door.
And just for Christie, she has a very Star Wars looking haircut.
Yeah, she
does. She definitely does. She does. Who has that haircut? Who has that hairstyle in Star Wars?
It's sort of got a little bit of Princess Leia going on, like a couple of hers mixed together, as if somebody's dreaming of Princess Leia.
No, it's not.
You walked right into
that. Darn
Speaking
it.
of sucker punch.
Yeah, like, boom. I wish I had a baseball bat and a leather jacket. A little bit of whip. Absolutely.
That's what you get for walking in here with that grin, Christy.
Yeah, it's a leer, actually. It's totally a leer.
I think, yeah, go ahead.
Well, I had a question because y'all know, stuff that I don't know. So, like, there should be a deleted scene here. Is this true? Canonical Tom?
Huh?
That's the first time we hear the name Canonical Tom.
That's me.
But
so is there a deleted scene where she's described something about Abner's death?
That's coming up. Just hold your horses.
So
She
no,
just
then.
punched the guy.
Yeah, you're
It's
like,
a
geez,
rubber
you're like the
fist.
kid who jumps down in the middle of the water slide at the water park.
All right.
You don't even wait in line and get to the top.
Okay, all right, settle. So, how did he get there? And how long was he waiting outside for closing time?
yeah, was he just
That's
looking
a
in
good
the window?
question.
And why isn't he cold?
That's a Belloc move.
Yeah,
What?
That's
Just
a
being
Belloc
patient.
move. But like right place, right time, waiting for some momentous thing, and then you're like, I've been here the whole time.
yeah. Maybe it's just maybe it's an archaeology move. Maybe archaeologists kind of stand around waiting outside, peeking in until just the right moment to enter. Aha!
Making sure all the darts have fired already.
Aha.
Well, I think we should wrap this one up because we're itching to talk about more than they've said so far. So let's put a button on minute 26, unless anybody has anything else directly from this minute.
No, go ahead and put a button on it, Tom.
I'm going to put a button on it. But we will come back here tomorrow. Pete, where can people get in touch with us if they want to put other buttons on other things?
Come press the button at indianajonesminute.com to find all of our podcasts in one place. You can subscribe, and if you like the show, leave us a recommendation, please.
Please do. I keep saying please do. I'm going to cut that out. But come back tomorrow. Maybe we'll still have Christy with us. If not, who knows? But please come back tomorrow where at least some of us will discuss minute 27 of Raiders of the Lost Ark here on the Indiana Jones Minute.
Please do.
Bastard.
Something made it inevitable.
See you tomorrow, Indiana Jones.
See you tomorrow, minute 27.
26!
No, tomorrow's 27. The show's over already. Never mind.